Pimpnite is overrated, and let me tell you why. Well, we can start out with one word being washed up, but we are not going there at all. Instead, I'm going to be talking about something that killed his channel, and it's not even his fault. This is pretty much Pokemon Sword and Shield, and the fact that it completely removed the versus recorder, so you don't get those smooth, silky replays. Now, granted, Pimpnite does a phenomenal job of cutting his recording footage in a great way, and for the challenge presented to him, I'd say he conquered it pretty damn well. The thing is, the versus recorder being removed, it just, in a sense, I don't know if this is just me, but it just changes up the whole feel. It changes up the whole vibe of the video itself. It just feels off. So, personally, to nitpick, alright, this is just me, and I'm not going to hold this against the score, but I am not the biggest fan of his layout, although I will admit it is small, compact, and it does its job. But that is kind of just a moot point. Moving on, we're going to talk about his commentary. There are things I really like about it. He explains the game well, and he knows how to talk 99 miles per hour, and that is not any type of petty or passive jab. I am being serious. His fast voice and commentary compensates for any battle pacing issues that take place throughout his recording session. But going back to explaining, he is also a YouTuber to use a little bit of unorthodox sets, and usually they have some kind of scheme to it, and he does a really good job of pretty much breaking them down and explaining how they work. Here's something I do not like about his commentary, and it is the whole idea of loud equals more entertaining. I've said this a million times, and I will continue to reiterate it as long as people do it. Now, to be fair, he's not as bad as others, but watching his current and past content, you know that, I'm just talking loud for talking loud. It's always been there. But now, let's zone in on that last phrase that I said. Has always been there. Has always been like this. That is Pimpnite in one phrase. And here is why I say he is washed up and overrated. Theme teams, they were cool in Auras. They were popping, they were new, they were innovative, but we are in Sword and Shield now, and it just feels old, tired, and stretched out. Pimpnite innovated with theme teams, but instead of continuing to innovate, he sat and let his content stagnate into mediocrity. Now, it's just like, oh, just another theme team. That's what it feels like. And Pimpnite just, he's not the big head of the Wi-Fi battling community that he used to be all those years ago. And it kind of boils down to two factors. First, well, the thing I said earlier, because obviously if you stagnate, people are going to overtake you. And he no longer has the capture card buffer. Now, before you think this is just some bullshit theory in my head, which it probably is, let me explain what I mean by the capture card buffer. What I mean is his niche was hard to enter because no one was spending $600 on a capture card 3DS. So what that pretty much meant was he had less competition. But now the barrier to enter the Wi-Fi community niche in the Pokemon community has been lowered, so he is facing a strong amount of competition. New people are popping up left and right, not only in the Wi-Fi battling community, but he also has a whole subsection of Pokemon to deal with, being the Pokemon Showdown community. Because if you haven't been informed, singles on Wi-Fi is pretty much a dead genre. It's honestly unbearable to play and unbearable to watch, to no fault of the creators. This is just mostly attributed to how slow Sword and Shield is with their Wi-Fi battles and the 20-minute timer. But that is not what this video is about. Let's talk about how Pimpnite has a niche, but technically he has no niche. So what do I mean by he has no niche? Well, his demographic is just kind of blurred. Besides, he's Pimpnite, you know, an OG of the community, which I have not said this now, but once again, let's pay our respects for him being one of the first Poketuber Wi-Fi battlers. But besides him being that OG, you know, guy in the community, why else are we watching him? Let's think about this. Let's remove the name Pimpnite and let's remove the legacy. And let's think about it like this. If you want competitive battles and good commentary, you know, just to look at the Sword and Shield graphics because you like them, you watch Wolfie VGC. If you want singles, you watch someone like Blunder or Joey, you know, aka not Sword and Shield Wi-Fi battles because they are ass. Once again, like I said, to no fault of any of the creators doing Sword and Shield singles. But what if you want wacky weird sets? Well, simply you just go to Weedle to a Needle. So I guess you could say his niche could be Pokemon Sweeps and Hacker Expose, but like theme teams pretty much, they're old and stretched out. They've been being done for years, and you know, to top it off, he has competition in these, you know, different fields. And the thing is with his content, it's not done bad. If I really had to describe his content in one word, or phrase rather, it would be he does it adequately. Once again, he doesn't do anything amazing enough to warrant it being new and innovative, but he doesn't do anything bad enough for it to be considered terrible. It is just average. Also, this is just a side note for me personally, but his thumbnails are ass. I do not like his thumbnails. They genuinely just look like jargoned pieces of mess. They're not clickable. You can kind of tell what he's trying to do, but once again, I just think it could be done way more clearly. So, believe it or not, there's definitely more I can discuss regarding his content, but I'm just gonna cap it off here and say, yeah, now, despite what I said, I still do recommend you check this channel out, as always, because how I may feel about a channel may be completely different for you, and I highly recommend that you just check this out. And if you do enjoy this channel, I'm glad you can enjoy something that I cannot. And if you have never heard of Pimpnite, I actually would recommend checking him out. If you do like Wi-Fi battles, you will probably like Pimpnite. Anyways, for the score, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. That is pretty much the video, guys. If you enjoyed more Poketuber reviews, tell me who you want next, watch some more videos, and consider subscribing. It doesn't really, it's just clicking a button, and when I talk shit about your favorite Poketuber, that is when you can unclick that button. But pretty much that is it. Consider subscribing, and have a good day.